Alan, time for an update. Since we last spoke, you brought in 3 new signings. First of all, what do you see in Junior Mundell?
Junior is a real talent. I tried to bring him in last year, but he got offered obviously full time after coming out of Forest Green. I think everyone was surprised, no more than the lad himself, that he got released from Forest Green. He's got pace to burn. He can play on either flank or through the middle. I've seen him do it through his youth career at Middlesbrough, and I think he can be an exciting prospect. He still wants to play higher, and that's probably been my aim this pre-season and off-season, such as bringing lads that are hungry to want to play higher and prove themselves, prove people wrong, and that's the way I've gone this year, is trying to get that right balance of bringing in players that have got that real hunger to want to be playing higher up. And Junior's got the potential. He trained with a couple of times last season while he was at Fylde, because they let him come back home, and they say the kid he's got loads of potential, and he needs that confidence back. He lost his confidence a little bit, and so hopefully we can give him that, and I'm sure the fans will be right behind him, and hopefully he can score a few goals for him.
And he's proved he can play at that higher level, hasn't he? Because he was almost a regular in his first season at Forest Green, and he played in the League 2 playoff semi-final against Tranmere.
That's it. He has got loads of ability, Junior, and it's just having that trust in him. I think he needed someone who's going to have that trust in him, and hopefully we can give him that. Yeah, it might take a little while to get his confidence back up to speed, but hopefully with the fans behind it, we know what we're like. Yeah, they love local lads, and he is a local lad, which is a massive pull, and he'll produce the goods for when hopefully he'll kick on again and get a move up the ladder again.
Yeah. You've signed a centre half, Lexus Beeden, who's had experience at Reading, and he's moving up from London.
Yeah, Lexus is probably a right wild card, to be honest with you, because no one will know of him as such, and he come in last year, a few training sessions with COVID put paid to how far we could take that. He's 6'3", 6'4", big, aggressive lad, loads of potential. I think 23 football wouldn't suit him because of what he is, the size of him and the way he plays, and we have been missing someone like that, but he's got some great attributes. He's a willing learner, and I think it tells you everything about him, that he's willing to move and relocate up here and live up here, not just travel. He's willing to live up here and stay with a friend up here that plays for Middlesbrough, and hopefully we can get the kid again out there performing week in, week out, and then you never know, if people see what I think I see in him, then he might move on again. But I've always said we've lacked that presence at the back, and this lad will come in and he'll be a real presence for him.
Signed a goalkeeper as well, Tommy Taylor, who's had 3 years at Scarborough amongst other clubs. Spent last season at Buxton before COVID stopped the season.
Yeah, Tommy, again, I spoke to him last year. I was interested in him last year, but we never got as far as discussing terms, whatnot. COVID situation didn't help. He lost his job, whatnot, so he ended up going to Buxton. But I've kept tabs on him. I was that close to going for him last year. He's a 6'3" goalkeeper that we needed. We do need that. We need that dominance. He's got over 300 games behind him, albeit maybe a lower level, but he's been a top goalkeeper in that league. And I have been informed by a few people that he is the best goalkeeper in non-league, which is some statement to get, but he's obviously earned that by playing 300 games, and Scarborough fans love him. I know that, I've seen that, and I've looked at these clips and that, and there is some really good performances there. So we needed that voice in there, we needed that experience. I think everyone knows that. We need some experience between the sticks, and hopefully Tommy will come in and do what he does. And he's a big lad, he's got that presence again, and he's well known. He knows what this league's all about, so I'm really pleased with that one, to be honest.
And he can score goals. I mean, he's been quite happy to tell us about the goal he scored for Brickhouse in the Northern Counties East League. It's shades of Alisson last Sunday for Liverpool, isn't it?
That's one thing that I got with Tommy, to be honest, when he's a real character. The first I spoke to him on the phone, I liked what I heard from him, what his ambitions was, and then when I met him, what a character, great lad. I think the fans will really take to him. Obviously it will help if he keeps clean sheets and stops the ball going in the net, but he's come across as a real good character, and looks as though he's going to be key in that dressing room. And to say something like that, it's unknown for goalkeepers, and to have that in his locker is always handy. But first and foremost, he knows his job, he's got to earn his place. he's going to be in there and keep them clean sheets, keep the ball out the net, and be that voice for us that we probably lacked over the last couple of years.
Out of the other players, what's the latest on Urico? Any movement there?
So he's over in Portugal at the minute, seeing his family. I'm in constant contact with him. He is getting off, as we know that. I've just got to try and convince the lad that he has his best platform to perform to get to an even higher level, and they're constantly negotiating. I think the lad would like to stay, don't get us wrong, he said he would love to stay at Darlington, but he wants to be a full-time footballer and he wants to play the levels above. So believe me, I'm still fighting, still working hard on it, and hopefully we'll see him back here next year. Remember, he's only played 14 games for, which he had a massive impact for. I've said to him, if he can play 40 games for in a season, he'll have his pick of clubs after that, and that's what he needs to look at, the long term, not the short term picture.
Of the others, Theo Furness, what's the latest there?
Theo's going to be coming back in pre-season. I spoke to him and his agent, so I've never really seen Theo in games as such. He never got any game time last year because of the situation, and we need to have a look at him in pre-season so we can decide what we're going to do with him. He hasn't played any men's football at all. Everyone knows that. He's just come from an academy, and it's totally different. So we'll be looking at him in pre-season, offering him a chance to come back, get him in some pre-season games, and then I can have a look and see what we're going to get from him.
Omar Holness, he came back midway through the season, but he was non-contractor, wasn't he?
Yeah, Omar was non-contractor. He come in when we had a good few injuries, and he's a great lad, everyone knows that, and never got as much game time as he probably would have liked. I think that's probably because I had that many forwards to try and squeeze into what we were doing, and at times it didn't work. I'll admit that it didn't work, but unfortunately Omar doesn't live anywhere near the area. He lives in Bristol. I don't think the fans will know that as such, and he's got a girlfriend that lives within Bristol, and it was tough for the lad coming up and down. So he's probably going to look down that area first and foremost to see if he can get anything tied up down there, which is totally understandable.
At Christmas, Louis Lang suffered a serious injury at cruciate, I believe. What's happened there with Louis?
Yeah, Louis had the operation in April, but he'll probably miss the whole season, unfortunately. He'll be coming in doing his rehab constantly with Danny, and we'll try and get him back playing again. But as I say, it leaves me, I need another centre-half. It's always been on the plan, and I am constantly speaking to players, constantly working, but hopefully we can get Langy back playing some kind of football before the end of the season.
You mentioned there that you're looking at other players. It's fair to say that you're looking at several players higher up the ladder. Obviously we can't give names away.
Yeah, you've got to try. It's tough out there for players at this moment in time that aren't getting contracts and they're dropping out the leagues, the squad sizes, so forth. And at this moment in time, I'm speaking to a good bunch of players, and it probably chanced me arm a little bit too much. But if I didn't try, and what's it worth? So I am trying a little bit higher than you would normally expect. But you've got to see what's out there. You've got to have a go at it, and we'll see what we get. But it's testing. It's hard work. It has been hard work. Like this morning, I've been meeting a player, then I've come down and done the signings with these lads, and it's hectic. It is really mad hectic, and the phone never stops. And there's always players getting offered, but I've got to make sure I pick the right ones that we need, and so far we've done that.
Yeah. Most of all, though, we're heading for the last week of Boost the Budget, and it's really important that the fans keep on contributing.
Massively, they've done fantastic so far in the current circumstances. And it is hard because we've missed so much football and we haven't had that connection and that buzz that you normally have. It does feel really strange, this one, but without them I'll not be able to bring in the players that I'm looking at. If they hit the target, great. If they get more, then I could chance a little bit higher up players again. So it is down to them, unfortunately. We know that's how this club works, but they've done brilliant so far, and if they just keep pledging what they do, I'm sure we'll hit that target, and hopefully I can give them a team to be proud of at the start of the season.